We are just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. Phillips. He's got his man on the crossing route. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Working with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only a scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. They go play action here on first down. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Off play action. Phillips. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, this defense for the Texans, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Phillips going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Here's Phillips on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what. And he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage. And they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open.
And oh, he coughed it up, and the Texans scoop it. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
Off play action. Phillips. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Cooks on the quick slant. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pierce.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole with big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. First and goal, no gain. Second and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball a third time, but I think it's going to be difficult.
Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Texans are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves a lot.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now this throw caught left side, and he is brought down, but on the fair reaching the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The Bills have 1 and 6 now. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 16. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he loses the football a second time. could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And you don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs. Sure. just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Phillips. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sione Takitaki. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Off play action. Phillips escaping the pressure right. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Phillips throwing on 3rd and long. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season. And his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the first down sack. Allen. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Phillips.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Phillips now to throw on 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Bills are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give it one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now Phillips looking to throw on 2nd down.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
A 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Nico Collins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to 2.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here. A run there with Cook on 1st down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Derek Stingley picks it.
So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
Take it in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And some room to roam now. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Cook again.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there on a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at that sort of drive room right here.
Cook up the gut. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen throwing middle, and it's complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
56.
They run with Hines.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be brought back for the Bills touchdown.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Looking to throw. Phillips. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run with Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run for it with Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. This is Hines. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's interesting where we are in the game now. The analytics folks, they might tell you to kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. But you have to wonder if emotionally they're thinking, let's go for the touchdown and try and slam the door.
The kickoff pass is good. So he's been automatic to this part of the season, and he can max out field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
This one left side caught by Collins.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Pierce now up the middle.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Back to throw. Phillips. Looking sideline, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
To throw is Phillips. Off the bootleg. And this one complete to Smith.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting the field.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2. They'll try and throw for it. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. A solid stiff arm. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. The slot man in motion right. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Slot man moves right. They run it again with Cook. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And some room to maneuver. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Bills will add to their fourth quarter lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
His guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Here's Phillips on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Back to throw again.
Got a man. It's Collins, complete.
And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 23. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, a ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Bills,
it's a rare win, just their second in these first 8 games.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.